Testing, testing, testing. All right, all right. We're on page 42. Operating Gevo Evolution Series Diesel Electrical Motor ES44. Sorry, we're on page 42. Air brake equipment. Starting the air brake equipment. Electronic air brake equipment. Electronic air brake system. The warning is stopping have the no circumstance with the train before the activity operating with the brake pipe pressure that fell below 45 psi. The situation occurred with the train must be stopped with the brake pipe reach over the railroad particular setting. Failure to comply with the warning may result with the inability to control and stop the train. The CCB2 microcomputer based electronic pneumatic braking control system is supplied with the locomotive logic under the computer control, except for the limitation of the emergency brake application for the brake vent throughout the emergency brake valve on the crew member. The count of the control brake system is a compatible 26L with the typical pneumatic air brake system. The control brake system, note the electronic control brake system is an electromagnetic system which needs locomotive barrier to function and verify any of the air brake circuit with the engine control panel is set out. The control lever with the function for the brake pipe cut in and cut out is accomplished with a small system display menu section for the electronic air brake section with the span with the control air brake system is in the distributed electronic linked with the computer network. The electronic pneumatic control unit with the mount of the air brake compartment with the modular unit with the control development of the pneumatic control pressure. The operative control of the system electronic brake valve figure 12 with the electronic brake valve signal with a handle position automatic independent dynamic braking assumption for the initiative of the emergency brake application for the promulgated mechanically through the vent valve plate for the automatic brake valve in the emergency position. The main control of the control brake system is to integrate the processor module, integrated processor module mount, and the electronic equipment locker with the notable notes of the cab locomotive, the engine control, integrated process module strip for the interface between the control current braking and smart display and the integrated processor module of the smart display loading message crew messaging diagnostic messaging. All right, your controlled braking system provided the backup of the pneumatic braking cylinder control for the event of the computer failure. The loss of the input power of the locomotive, the function provided with the manifold of the dynamic braking triple valve, and the automatic brake or DB triple valve. The automatic brake valve handle. The following paragraph is derived with the function automatic brake valve handle. Automatic brake valve handle for the operator with the 6 10 control positions, relief, the minimum reduction, full surface suppression, the continuous surface emergency, and the surface dome is between the minimum reduction and full surface position, the minimum full surface position. The following out of the graph provided the description of the ease of the release handle position when the charge of the train with the releasing the automatic brake application. The automatic brake handle should be played with the release position. The automatic brake valve with the release in this position. Minimum reduction with the making of the surface brake application with the automatic brake valve handle. The minimum position will remove will provide 6 to 8 psi with the reduction necessary with the increase of the reduction. Move the handle progressively toward the full surface position. Bearing in mind further handle is moved. The surface dome with the greater will be reduction. The system will automatically maintain with the brake pipe pressure within the FRA approved range for the full surface position, full surface brake application. The with the move of the brake handle to do the full surface position. The move will reduce the brake pipe pressure for the 26 to 28 psi. Increase the brake cylinder pressure for the 60 to 40, 64 psi. 4. They show the automatic brake valve handle. The target display independent brake valve handle. Suppression. The position with the full surface brake application in addition with the locomotive's equipment. The overspeed control, safety control, penalty brakes. These applications will be suppressed. Warning: ensure safety control operate for the following specific railroad operating procedure precautions set up with the unit trail dead, trailing or dead. Continuous surface position. The automatic brake valve handle should be moved with the position on locomotive with the trailing in the multiple units if they're being towed. Dead. Warning: stop half of the emergency situation operating with a single unit of power with the multiple unit of the locomotive only with the move of the independent brake valve handle to the full application. The fastest way to develop brake pipe cylinder pressure in the unit consists of the full independent brake cylinder pressure setting immediate after and the immediate independent handle with the automatic brake valve handle with the emergency with the failure to comply with this procedure during the emergency could extend the could extend the stopping distance. Warning: stopping handle with the following emergency brake application if the train is not rest. If the train is not rest with a brake relief, there must not be attempted. The movement of the automatic brake valve handle the release train is moving to make cover the equipment damage or the personal injury. The emergency position, the emergency brake application pertaining with the move of the brake handle with the emergency position 2. The word operator emergency will appear with the air brake message box on the smart screen display for 60 seconds. The operator will be instructed to recover the move of the brake handle through the release only after the locomotive comes to complete stop of the region of the emergency has been cleared. Note: the placing of the automatic brake valve handle in the emergency position have at the end of the train device if alarmed vent of the brake pipe end of the train. Note: if the operating lead unit of the brake system and then put with 1 minute at the time delay before if possible reach over the brake pipe pressure after the emergency applicate for the target display with the provide with the operator with the instantaneous readout with the target with the equalizing reservoir pressure for the reducing in based on the position automatic brake valve handle field feed valve setting with the movement of the automatic brake valve handle cover the emergency reading the equalizer reserve reading on the smart delay to degree for the surface rate with the event with the setting of the target equalizer reservoir setting pressure with the target display with the provided the operator to immediately indication of the amount of the brake pipe reduction required. The emergency standing is automatically applied with the locomotive moving it less than speed 0 miles an hour forward reverse direction until the emergency application until the train comes to stop. Multiple unit operation emergency standing is applied to all units when consisting of less than 0 miles per hour. Equipped with pneumatic, electromagnetic standing equipment. Independent braking. The application of the independent brakes does not decrease dynamic braking effort. Note the independent brake valve toward the full position applied with the independent brakes. The full independent application will manual with the full position. Independent brakes are relief of the handle with the release position. To make the independent relief of the automatic brake application bail off the lift over the ring with the independent brake with the handle with the set and spring the action will return with the ring with the original position when released. Warning: to ensure safety, consider the operation with the fall specific railroad operating position precautions setting up the trail and end of the independent brake valve handle should always be in the release position when the unit of the trailing multiple unit consider the bowl or being towed deaded. Air brake equipment and air brake compartment. This figure 13 for the location of the equipment, the air brake compartment, and the refer to air piping diagram specific air brake equipment location. And this shows your air brake equipment 1 and 6. 1 would be electro-pneumatic control unit. 2 would be the horn. This is your that's your air brake equipment, and 2 would be your horn pressure switch. 3 with the magnetic bell magnetic valve. 4 drain valve magnetic. 5 your horn magnetic valve, and 6 would be 6 back up here. This was your auxiliary air cutout switch. Okay. All right, your cutout cock. The following manually operated cutout device are you with the locomotive. The main reserve cutout cock with the located with the right side of the locomotive near the main reserve. The main reserve the drain cocks, one located at the end of each of the main reserve, the usually part of the automatic drain valve. The 3 air filter drain cock located at the main reserve, the auxiliary air filter for the truck, of the brake cylinder, the cutout cock located on the right side of beneath the locomotive platform for one each of the truck. 5 the horn cutout cock located with the air brake equipment. The 6 with the standard control valve with the cutout cock with the forward reverse and standard control with located with the of the right with the rear, the radiator cab with the right, with the front nose cab with the separator panel with the stand control valve with the cutout cock is located here as well. Also, 7 the cutout cock's ending connections end with the locomotive, the brake pipe cock with the main reserve equalizer actuating independent application release, dead end cock located with the air brake compartment with the figure electron and the electropanic pneumatic control unit figure 16. All right, figure 14 shows the standing control valve piping. Forward, reverse, and standing control valve cutout cocks. This should show the sand trap cutout with multiple receptacle application pipe with the actuating pipe, the main reserve pipe, the coupler. So from the outside you have the end. From the outside in you'd have your application pipe, actuating pipe, and main reserve pipe. And then 7 would be your coupler. 8 would be the brake pipe pressure, brake pipe hose, and 9 would be your multiple unit receptacle. 1 would be a sand trap cutout. 2 and then. I don't see 2 on there, actually. There's no 2. Okay, this is your electro-pneumatic control panel component. You show the equalizing reservoir portion, equalizing reservoir control panel, DP dynamic braking, tractive valve, BCCP, 16CPC, PSGB, 13 portions, 3 CP, BC portion, BCCP, 20 CP. Main reserve filter, brake pressure portion, brake pressure control panel. All right, other equipment.